Okay, so now we're going to work with line data in R. The line data that we're working with is a data set of roads in Toronto, Ontario, and we're going to filter for highways and crop it to Toronto and do some calculations with that data. And this is a road network that covers part of Southern Ontario, specifically Toronto. We're going to import it into our R environment and take a look at what we're working with. So let's create a comment to start off. We are going to create a variable called road network. And we are going to use the st_read function to import our data. We've already set our working directory up here. So all we need to do now is import the file name. Here's our data folder. If you open it up, you'll see a folder called road network. The data that we want is located inside of there. It's the shapefile right here. So we need to reference, as usual, the folder that's in which the shapefile is, as well as the actual name of the shapefile. And because we've already set our working directory, we don't need to type out the entire file name. All we need to do is type out the folder name and then the file. Period for our current working directory, and then we can just put in our file name. So road network. And then in our folder, we have roadnetworkontario.shp. Let's import that. Okay, so that's done. Let's explore this variable a little bit. We have a simple feature collection with 87,000 features and 26 fields. We have a geometry type of multi-line strings and a different projection. We have a Statistics Canada Lambert projection. So let's take a look at the first 6 rows of this data. And we can do that by using the head function. If you use head without any other argument except the variable name, it'll output the first 10 rows, not 6, 10 rows of the data. So let's put road network in there. Okay, so we have 26 variables, and we have an ID, names for the different road networks, the city in which it's located, and other parameters. What I'm really interested in is the type variable, and let's use the view function to view the entire data set. So we have a lot of information here, but what we're going to work with is the type column. I want to filter it so that we're only looking at highways because we have a lot of information here. It's time consuming to process all of this for this course. So we're going to work with highway data and calculate the length of highway in each neighborhood within Toronto. Let's close that. Yeah, we have a lot of different columns here. We're going to work with type and the geometry, which is where our spatial geometry data is contained. So we know that we only want to work with the type of road network. Let's filter the data frame so that we only have the type, because we don't really need anything else from here. So we've already imported it. I'm just going to add a pipe and then use select type. Let's run that. And let's view it again. So now we only have type and geometry, which is fine for what we need. Now we also want to filter for highways because we don't want to work with any other road type. So let's add another pipe and filter it for highways. And they use HWY to reference highways. If you want to see all the road types, we can do that very easily. We can use the unique function. So let's quickly do that. So unique, and in there we want to reference road network, and then the type column. So you can see there's 87,000 features and there's a ton of unique road types. So if you were trying to manually find this information, it'd be a lot of work for you to go scroll through and identify all of these. We can just filter it. We can just use unique to identify them. And we're going to filter just for highways. Okay, so now we have a new geometry. Let's take a look at it again using the view road network function. And you can see we only have highways now, which is what we wanted.